Please turn to page 23 in your Suzuki book. At the very bottom of the page are the neglected E string exercises that we did not do when we were doing the A string exercises. These exercises are all about learning the position of the hand and the fingers when playing on the E string. Now you'll notice that they only go up to the third finger, and all of the rules apply where you might need to open your hand on the third finger if you have trouble reaching. But I've noticed that one of the most common errors on the E string is for some reason people tend to play out of tune a lot. So playing this with clear tune is a really good idea. And you know, you can't necessarily play Mississippi Hot Dog and expect clear tune to catch it. So you might have to play long notes, one for each note in front of your iPad or iPhone or Android device. Now, we're going to do it with the Mississippi Hot Dogs and the two rests as written. But before we start, one quick tip. You know, we never talked about this, but your left elbow has to actually be in a different position depending on what string you're playing on. Now, there's kind of a rule of thumb, rule of pinky actually, you'll see what I mean, which is that your left elbow should generally be under the pinky, depending on what string you're on. So in other words, if I put my fourth finger down on the A string, my left elbow should be underneath it, pretty much, you know, under the violin. If I put my pinky on the E string, my left elbow will be under the pinky in a slightly different position. I'm not going to move my elbow as much under the violin, I'm going to move my elbow a tiny bit more to the left. So this is something that is worth knowing. And just as a matter of exercise, why don't we just put our fourth fingers down, one string at a time, starting from the E string, going to the G string. And very gradually, as you move across the string, move your left elbow to the right, that is more under the violin. And then you can go back the other direction. Okay, now we've got that sorted. Now we're going to play on the E string, so get that left elbow ready with your pinky tapping, that way you can know you're in the right place. And then, just so we can start off, can you play E1, E, maybe tune it with clear tune? That is the note F sharp. So the notes are E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B. So those are the notes of your left hand on the E string. Let's do it. On the string, ready, go. Backwards. And of course, you can go up to the fourth finger if you'd like. We're going to do some exercise with the fourth finger momentarily, but if you want, you can go all the way up to the fourth finger as well, making sure to open up your hand. Now, the next thing I want to just kind of bring to your attention, and just have a look for 1 second at the E string notes page again. Now, we've gone off the musical staff. All of a sudden, we're learning notes that don't really fit neatly into the Every Good Boy Deserves Fudge or F-A-C-E face mnemonics. So what's happened here? I mean, you can count up E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B. I'll just tell you it's F sharp and G sharp because that's in our key signature of A major, if you recall. But we suddenly have to add lines, believe it or not. You know, we have to go above the 5 lines and add a 6th line, and then draw a circle around it. That's the letter A, the note A. Then we have another line, well, it's the same line actually, and the note is above it. That's the note B. So those lines are called ledger lines, and you'll notice, of course, the G sharp is just sitting right up on top of the staff itself. So if you run out of space, well, you just draw more lines, and you draw your notes either around the line, above the line, or below the line, depending on what note you want to play or compose. So that's just something I wanted to bring to your attention. Let's turn the page to page 24, and we'll go on with that. Now, page 24, we're going to do the second line down from the top, and then we'll get started. So what we can do to get that first note in tune of the second line They're both A's. The third finger is an A. When you play them together, it just goes, it blends. If it's out of tune, it won't be the case. Yeah, ooh. Ooh. So we want to make sure it's in tune. So you can use clear tune to help you while opening the hand if necessary. So let's do it. This is the second line down from the top of page 24 on the string. And we're going to do the repeat as well. 1, 2, ready, go. And repeat. Okay, let's go to the very bottom line of the page. Now, we're going to use our fourth fingers. Now, unlike on the A string, where the fourth finger is the note E, and therefore you can test it with the E string, you can see if the two notes are the same, which they should be. On the E string fourth finger position, we don't have that luxury. The fourth finger on E string, that's the note B. There's no B string to test it to. So here I would suggest you use clear tune to help you out. So another solution is, if you still don't have clear tune, which you should by now, is test that third finger with the A string, and now you know your hand's in the right place, and then you can just extend your fourth finger. And then once you're ready, and if you need to open your hand like I do, you get set up, go on the string, and we're going to do the last line with the repeat. 1, 2, ready, go. And it repeats. Okay, now you're ready to play Song of the Wind.